Hey, what's up, social media world? It's Chris, your favorite coach, coming at you again with another edition of Conversations with Chris, where I talk to interesting people, or at least people that I find interesting that you should too. And I want to share what they have to offer the world with the world. So here we are. We have today one of our favorite upcoming authors, amongst other things. A round of applause for Linda. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Chris. This is fun and exciting.
It's always fun, isn't it? Yeah, so I know we're kind of coast to coast now. What I mean by coast to coast is east coast of Florida to west coast of Florida. So I think it's good to be in paradise, isn't it?
It is. You know, we're lucky. We're very fortunate because I'm already ready to put my top down and drive around in my spring clothes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm about to do the same. So tell me, I mean, we see your bio here. You're up to so many things. So tell us a little bit about who you are, where you came from, where you're going, and how everybody can participate in what you got going on here.
That's a lot of questions, Chris, but I gotcha. So where have I been and where am I going? I was in the hospitality industry for almost 20 years. And during COVID, I had to say goodbye to that, or they said goodbye to me, however you want to put it. It was a bye-bye.
I gotcha.
But that day, the day I received that D-Day call, I hit the ground running and started my own company called Women Have Needs Too. And I have a line of apparel, also have a coaching program called Mission Accelerator. And my newest baby is an anthology I am putting together, a book with a collection of contributors. And the working title is The Power of Wisdom Before Me. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful book.
That's
Very
awesome.
special book.
That's awesome. So the book is going to be, I know it's going to be like a collection of, wiser women, kind of offering advice to their earlier selves, sort of. So tell us a little bit more about your company, Women Have Needs Too. I think that was kind of like the birthing place of all these other things you have going on.
It is the birthing place. Women Have Needs Too was created to inspire and empower women to live their fullest lives. I mean, when you think about if you just think about women in the last couple of years, the transition that everybody has had to go through, something that happens with women, I think more than men, is that we are so busy taking care of everybody else that we forget to take care of ourselves. And we're, biologically, I say we're yes men. Not to play on words there with yes women, yes men. We're just yes, yes. And we forget that it's okay to say no, right? Number one, it's okay to say no. Number two, and not feel guilty about it. You're allowed to say no and not feel guilty all at the same time. And that comes to a surprise to us women. I think men have a handle on it a lot better because they tend to be more, and women are out there and they want to please everybody, and we forget to take care of ourselves. So that is the premise of Women Have Needs Too, is just reminding women that they're important, that they're a winner, and they have something inside them that wants to get out and explore and achieve all of those dreams that they've been looking for.
I love that. It's funny that you say kind of yes men or wired to say yes. I think people pleasers ultimately, and I guess women do, having that maternal instinct lead more towards like being a caretaker and wanting to say yes to everybody and take care of everybody. And when we look at things like when you take the plane, when you fly the plane and they give you those, hey, if the oxygen mask comes down, don't forget to put your own oxygen mask on before you help other people. And and saying that it's okay to say no, it's so funny that actually we've said things. I mean, I've had two different speaking. I have two different speaking workshops. That one was the power of no, and the other one was go for no. So there is power in no. You're absolutely right. So I love that, and that kind of created what you've got going on about this book coming out, as well as the coaching programs you offer.
Oh gosh, I've had this book in mind for so many years, and the whole story behind the book is that I can tell you, I've been in business for myself over the last 30 years. I've worked in corporations. I've been in sales most of my life. And I can tell you that if you go back 20, 30 years ago, the arena of women in business didn't always used to have the same feel as it does today. Back in the day, I remember it being really cutthroat, and you do you, I'll do me, and I'm not helping you, and I don't expect you to help me. And I've seen a real shift, and it's a shift that I have lived by my whole life. I've always been involved with sports. I got into sports when I was 9 years old. I just always been one of those people that loves and enjoys helping people and rising them up. I was always the cheerleader, no matter what sport I was playing. I played a lot of team sports. And now there's much more camaraderie between women wanting to offer that hand up, the leg up, the share the information. How can I inspire you and empower you? And it's so just riveting, to see that change, that shift, that women are finally realizing that we're not against each other. I don't compete against anyone except for myself. I just want to be my best self. And that's all I want for you and everyone else. And this book is women sharing their authentic wisdom that they have gone through the pain, they've grown through the pain, and they've gained this, eye-opening wisdom that sometimes they wish they had 10 years ago. So they're sharing their wisdom to the generation before them. So it's like offering that wisdom to yourself 10 years ago, the wisdom you wish you had when you were at that, at that age 10 years ago. So the writing starts with authors in their 30s and going up as high as the 80s and 90s. And those women are giving wisdom to the generation before them. Hence the name, The Power of Wisdom Before Me. And it also is a double entendre, because when the person is reading the book, they have that wisdom before them that they're going to be able to take advantage of.
Yeah, what's interesting about that, it's almost like I think everybody has that moment where they're like, man, if I could go back and give myself advice, what would that be? And I think this is so cool because it's kind of an opportunity to do that. We're working on something interesting ourselves about kind of like business advice for late bloomers that we're going to be able to, like, hey, look, if you're older than 40 and you want to start a business, here's what you need to know, right? So
love it.
Yeah, right, because we think about how much we've screwed up along the way. And there's an expression, youth is wasted on the young. And I think this is so cool how it's like, hey, let me impart some wisdom on those young and see what they'll do with it. And I love that you're putting this book together. It's authored by you, but there's going to be several contributors. And is there a website that we can get for you up here where people can kind of access what you've got going on?
Yeah, it's not, the landing page is not live yet, but it will be, and it will be at thepowerofwisdombeforeme.com.
Thepowerofwisdombeforeme.com. Okay, cool. So once it's live, we can go back to this video and we'll put it in the comments. So we'll have a hot link for it.
Perfect.
What else? What else can you tell us about what you have going on? Who's the ideal? Are you looking for contributors still? Are you looking?
Actually, yeah.
To purchase this book.
Actually, we are still looking for a few contributors. We're lacking some contributors in the 30 and 40 year range, which is crazy because you would think that those people have so much to say. So we are, and you can email me directly at Linda@WomenHaveNeeds Too. That's Linda@WomenHaveNeeds Too, TOO.com. And shoot me an email, hit me up on Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm all over the place on there. And absolutely. So you had asked another question too, I was going to refer to.
Well, so so people could reach out to you, like particularly people in their 30 to 40-year-old range, and Linda@WomenHaveNeeds Too.com is the email to reach out to you.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
And I always like to ask, who's your ideal audience for this? Who's going to really get the most value out of a book like this?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, it's really difficult to say because we are covering 7 generations. So women in their 20s will be reading wisdom from women in their 30s. And if you think about the women in their 20s, they've gone through college or they're in college. They're just coming out of college and starting their first career. Maybe they're starting about thinking about starting their own business. A lot of that is going on even with teenagers these days. And somebody actually said, you know, we can learn a lot from teenagers because I've learned a lot from my grandkids. And I'm like, absolutely. That's a whole nother book.
Yeah.
And we do plan on doing a whole series because this book is by women for women. And I'm got it on the slapping that spaghetti on the wall and doing a similar book for women by men. So having men offer wisdom to women, you know, stupid mistakes that we make. I know that is not a good word to use, but sometimes it's just plain stupid, the things that we do, right? So there's a series of books that will be coming along the way. But if you think about each generation and each transition we go through each generation, I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. So we see this as a book that is going to be right there by the bedside. It's going to be right there on the coffee table, and you'll be able to read it time and time again. It's going to be put together as kind of a workbook. There'll be some pages behind each chapter that you can write down your thoughts about what you just read about and where you would like your next 10 years to go. And so it's going to be very reflective. And once women get a hold of this beautiful book, we see them as wanting to buy one for their mother, buy one for their aunt, their favorite aunt, their sister, their friends. It's going to be catching like wildfire. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful book.
It's so awesome. So it kind of reminds me of like those series like the Chicken Soup of the Soul, and they made them all these ones. And then I think Greg Barron, I think, wrote that book. He's Just Not That Into You, which is kind of like it's a you remember that? And so I like this idea of kind of, imparting wisdom to people and then getting it from different perspectives. And in coaching, we talk about that beach ball conversation where we're all standing on one piece of the beach ball and we can only see the blue or the red or the white, whatever we're standing on. And sometimes we need to say, hey, what's going on over there to get a different perspective. So I love what you're doing. And I mean, out of this book, do you plan on launching any programs, any coaching programs, any seminars, any kind of, like you mentioned, workbooks, some follow-up strategies around really putting this stuff into place in your life?
Yes, I am launching my coaching program, Mission Accelerator, and also starting a recruitment business.
Okay, so the recruitment business, you're going to start looking for talent to help companies grow talent?
Yes, and the coaching business will feed into the recruitment because we'll be able to help coach the people into their next job or their next business, however, their path wants to take them.
Yeah.
And help with the resume writing and cover letters and connect them with the company that is a good fit. And there are a lot of people getting caught up in the AI system, which I'm sure is very beautiful and paper-free. But what that does is that it creates a big clog in an email with 1,000 resumes from people that you have no idea where to start. And I mean, managers and directors are getting hundreds and thousands of emails a day on new resumes. How do you decipher that? So we're going to have the human to human touch where we're going to be able to vet those candidates, that talent firsthand, personally, one-on-one, each one, and vet that candidate for that perfect position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. There's so many things going on here, so many working parts, and kind of, I do a lot of the same thing. I help companies kind of develop their job profiles and build a great team, build a winning team, so to speak. And there's so much out there. So you're going to be helping people. I mean, you're going to be working with business owners that need talent, as well as people that are kind of looking to get into it. And you're going to be able to put them together. Is that, I mean, you're going to create this whole little community or tribe, it sounds like.
It's going to be beautiful.
It sounds awesome. So is there anything else you want to leave people with in particular? Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll get those live links to you. We'll just put them in the video here. So if anybody watches this on a replay, they'll have access to you and all the stuff we've got going on. Is there any words of wisdom or final thoughts you'd like to impart to everybody out there that's going to watch this?
Well, something that, you know, I just had this conversation with someone yesterday. You know, you think about the blank canvas and where we're going to go from here. You know, the canvas is blank. You can do anything you want to do. And when people say they can't do something, that means there's a mental block. But guess what? The mental block can be lifted. It can be lifted. And I always ask people, okay, go back to when you were a little girl. What was it that you wanted? If you can't remember, just go to, when you lie your head on the pillow tonight, think about what it was like when you were a little girl and what all those dreams and that huge world in front of you, what was it that you wanted? Because guess what? Now, I don't care what age you are, it's never too late to live out your childhood dreams.
I love that. You know, and sometimes we do that too, you know, just to get people talking about something they're passionate about. Hey, what do you want to be when you were a little kid? Or what were your dreams back then? What happened? Yeah. You know, what happened as we got older? We got more jaded and cynical. It's so funny. Youth is truly wasted on the young. Thank you for all that you're doing and writing this book. We're looking forward to it coming out. Once you get that landing page up, we'll post it here. And if nobody has any questions for Linda, we'll let you guys go back into the regular world. We got Marlon said, hi, Chris. Hi, Marlon. Thanks for popping on today. And we'll see everybody in a virtual world. So, and I know I'm going to see you in the real world next week.
Soon. Yes, next week.
Okay, so everyone have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.